My heart matched the rhythm of my nervous steps as I approached the threshold of the Sinclair mansion. Beyond its age-old walls lay secrets I had only heard about, in university lectures and darker urban legends. Today, as a young journalist, I was here to uncover them. The mansion stood in a secluded part of the forest, far removed from the bustling city. Its somber architecture and overgrown garden gave off a sense that time had stopped around this place. With each step on the crunchy gravel path, the air grew colder and my mind more apprehensive. My mission was straightforward yet challenged my bravest beliefs. I was to delve into the history of the mansion, to find out if the rumors were true that its corridors and halls were inhabited by ghosts of the past, the legends about the Sinclairs, their mysterious disappearances, and unexplained deaths were known to everyone in town. But no one dared to get close enough to this place to uncover the truth. Now, standing at the entrance of the mansion, feeling the gaze of invisible eyes upon me, I understood that my investigation could change not just the history of this house but my own life as well. The night in the Sinclair mansion was unsettlingly quiet until it wasn't. Lying in the old, creaky bed provided for me, I was jolted awake by an eerie sound that seemed to echo through the halls. It was a soft, melancholic humming, disjointed yet oddly familiar, like a forgotten lullaby. My journalist's instinct, coupled with an unshakable curiosity, propelled me out of bed. I had to find the source of these sounds. Clutching the flashlight, I tiptoed down the corridor. The walls, adorned with portraits of the Sinclairs, seemed to watch me, their eyes following my every move. The humming grew louder as I approached a grand, dust-covered door at the end of the hall. Heart pounding, I pushed it open. Inside, I was met with an astonishing sight. The room, which seemed to be a study, was bathed in a soft, otherworldly glow. And there, in front of the massive fireplace, stood the translucent figure of a man, dressed in attire from centuries past. His eyes, filled with an eternal sadness, met mine. "You've heard my call," he spoke, his voice a whisper yet clear in the silent room. He introduced himself as Edward Sinclair, the original owner of the mansion. His form flickered like a flame in a gentle breeze as he recounted his tale. He spoke of his life, his lost love, and the tragic events that led to his untimely demise. But it was his warning that sent chills down my spine. "There is an evil here, one that I unwittingly unleashed long ago," he said, his voice heavy with regret. "It grows stronger, and now, with your arrival, it seeks to break free from the confines of this house." As he vanished, the room returned to darkness, and the weight of his words hung heavily in the air. I stood there in the silent study, realizing that my investigation had just taken a turn into the unknown, a realm where the stories of the living and the dead intertwined. The following morning, with Edward Sinclair's ominous warning echoing in my mind, I began to search the mansion more thoroughly. It was during this exploration, in a hidden compartment of an old wooden desk in the library, that I found a dusty, leather-bound diary. The diary belonged to Elizabeth Sinclair, Edward's wife, and within its pages lay the dark secrets of the Sinclair residence. As I pored over the diary, Elizabeth's words painted a vivid picture of love, betrayal, and a forbidden ritual that promised eternal life but instead unleashed a malevolent spirit upon the mansion. This spirit, trapped within these walls, was the source of the malevolence Edward had warned me about. The diary's final entry was a plea from Elizabeth, a hope that someone could someday free the mansion from its curse. I knew then what I had to do. Armed with knowledge and a determination to end this nightmare, I ventured into the heart of the mansion, the crypt beneath the house, where the ritual had been performed. The crypt was a chilling place, its air thick with an unspeakable dread. There, amidst the shadows, I confronted the malevolent spirit. It was a terrifying, shapeless entity, its presence alone enough to freeze the soul. The battle was not just physical but psychological, as the spirit tried to prey on my deepest fears. With every ounce of courage, I recited an incantation I had found in Elizabeth's diary, a counter-ritual to banish the spirit. The air shimmered with unseen energy as the spirit writhed and howled, its hold on the mansion weakening. In the final moments, the spirits of Edward and Elizabeth appeared beside me, their presence lending strength to my voice. As the final words of the incantation left my lips, a blinding light filled the crypt. When my vision cleared, the crypt was serene, and the oppressive atmosphere had lifted. The spirits of the Sinclairs, finally at peace, smiled at me before fading away. I emerged from the mansion as the first rays of dawn broke the horizon. The Sinclair mansion, once a place of darkness and despair, now stood silent and free from its haunting past. As I walked away, I knew that I had not only uncovered the truth behind the legends, but had also played a part in giving rest to troubled souls. The adventure had changed me, teaching me that sometimes confronting our fears is the only way to find true peace. As I stepped out of the Sinclair mansion, the early morning light seemed to wash over me, bringing a sense of renewal. The mansion, now just a structure of stone and wood, stood quietly behind me, its windows reflecting the rising sun. I paused for a moment, looking back at the grand old house that had been the setting of such profound and eerie experiences. Walking away from the Sinclair estate, I felt a mix of relief and contemplation. The events of the past night had been more than just a journalistic adventure. They were a journey through history, emotion, and the supernatural. I had come seeking stories and had found a reality far beyond the ordinary. My thoughts turned inward as I reflected on what I had learned. The spirits of the mansion, while haunting and sometimes terrifying, were not the only ghosts we face. In our lives, we often carry our own specters, fears, regrets, unfulfilled desires. These personal ghosts can haunt us, shape our actions, and cloud our judgments. The confrontation with the malevolent spirit in the crypt was not just a battle against a supernatural entity, it was a metaphorical battle against my own inner demons. The courage to face these fears, to confront and understand them, was the real victory. As the mansion faded into the distance, I realized that sometimes the scariest ghosts live in our own hearts, and facing them can be the most daunting task of all. Yet, it is through these confrontations that we grow and find peace. The Sinclair mansion, with all its mystery and horror, had taught me that the bravest journey is the one that takes us inside ourselves, to confront the ghosts of our past and present, and in doing so, find a way to a brighter, more peaceful future.